Good morning, everyone. I, CHRME Atul Shah, on behalf of Professional Skin Enrichment Committee, ICI, welcome all the participants in today's webcast on power skills in the age of AI, leveraging human intelligence. I welcome to today's resource person, CA Sudarshan Rajeshwar, and others present over here. To formally introduce him, he brings 30 plus years of global leadership experience in governance, internal audit, and risk management, spanning many industries vertical across India, Bahrain, UAE, and Qatar. He is a chartered accountant with multiple global certification, including CIA, CISA, CFE, CFSA, CCSA, CGAP, and he has successfully advised boards and C-suites on strategic governance, organizational resilience, merger and acquisition, due diligence, cybersecurity, and corporate compliance. He is globally recognized for thought leadership and has honored with Internal Audit Beacon Award 2022, CA Achiever Award 2017, Toastmaster Presidential Citation 2014, and along with contributing to global research and education. So, with this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, and now the floor is all open for your deliberation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Charmi. And let me at the outset, I'll start my presentation. Okay, let me start the presentation by, at the outset, thanking Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, appreciate ICA President Charanjot Singh Nanda, and Jay Chaira, the Chairman of PSCC, EC, which is Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, Abhay Shajat, Vice Chairman, and Dr. Sambit Mishra, and my own Charmi, who is our who is my co-host today. One thing I noticed in this we auditors always notice something different from what others do. One is that all these people I named today, like we are all chartered accountants. The names, the chartered accountant starts with CH. Our president's name starts with CH, Kachorjit. And then the chairman of the committee is J. Chaira, is CH. Again, the vice chairman, Chajat, is also CH. So, and also Charmi is also CH. So, one thing, I'm surrounded by all charmers today. So and I know many of the friends who joined it, they are also equally, my fellow professionals are equally charmers. Once you're chartered accountants, you get into that shoes. I'll also be thanking all those people who have joined today to listen to my deliberations on this very nice topic, which is power skills in the age of AI, leveraging human intelligence. It's quite thought-provoking. I would like to, say one of the important things. Many of us, we think that, okay, these sort of things we join, we put it on, we are not interactive because there's a wall between me and you because you are on a different public platform. I am in another platform. So we think that it's okay, we get a CPRs. But I remember what Charlie Chaplin said. He said the power of simply showing up with authenticity, attention, and care makes us succeed. The power of showing up with authenticity, attention, and care gives success. So it is not being around, just putting it aside, putting it off your camera and doing something else. You have to show up means you be there. So I hope the Charlie Chaplin had a silent mastery, meaning he could even convey his emotions, convey the story, convey the humor without uttering a simple word. So again, it says that the human connection is it starts with being there, doing something to be there. So it's important, just don't, it's important that if you find it interesting, stay there and let me as I take you through what I think about the subject, which is in fact pertinent. There is no article today, there is no deliberation today without AI. It's an ever-changing landscape of regulations and governance. And in the ever-changing landscape of regulations and governance, in fact, our institute stands as a lighthouse, guiding the professionals like us technically and in continuous growth. It is almost daily. I'm here for last almost a year since I returned from abroad job, and I have to in touch. I'm in touch with many other institutes like Institute of Internal Auditor, Institute of Certified Information Systems Auditor, Fraud Examiner, and Toastmasters, and many other institutes. No other institute, I can say categorically, provides so much of knowledge, so much of knowledge available and guidance available for the members and to elevate the profession. So I almost every day get something which I can look at, learn something, and the knowledge get transferred to us if we take that interest, and we can be transformed with the transfer of knowledge. And most of the things, and I'll say all of them are done, curated by experts who structures the program to get diverse and builds a legacy of learning that generations will admire with pride. So we are at the juncture of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, to my opinion, it's purely my opinion, where all of us as chartered accountants can learn and become better. In fact, today, it's global doesn't mean distance. Global means how you're connected with our knowledge, expertise, and skills that is compatible to anyone across the world. Having traveled to almost 54 countries on a different purpose, I can tell you that, our teaching from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India gives us the best foundation to escalate to any such requirements. So CA also, equipped with evolving skill set, need to equip with evolving skill set needed to thrive by bridging the gap, making ourselves visible, and creating a versatility to communicate at any level of audience or even professionals, other levels of professionals. So we will, I'll start with my slide. So this is one thing which I asked I think it's a Copilot, or I don't know whether ChatGPT, to draw a picture based on the topic which is given. Power skills in the age of AI, the leveraging human intelligence. See this picture. It says, I think it says, it's very thoughtful when even the AI created it. It says, the glowing robot. Robot is glowing, and human, which is shown there, the human is thoughtful human, connected by a dynamic radiant light bulb of shared insight and capability. The human being is thoughtful, robot which is represent AI is glowing, and the light bulb is that connects talking about the shared insight and capability. Today we are living in that world. Now I was in the US recently in LA. I found Waymo, which it's a driverless, it's fully autonomous car. And there is also Tesla, which it's not fully autonomous, it's not driverless, but it has all the facilities. And there is also Zoox, which is robotic and autonomous. So in the power skills in the age of AI are the unique human capabilities that complement AI and elevate our collective potential. Complement AI and collective and add to our collective potential. So we can't do it with AI, we can't do it with human intelligence. So I'll deliberate as we go through. These are the major portion, the main headlines. What I will talk about, I need to talk about technological revolution, we'll basically say what power skills means. Is it same as soft skills? Is it little different? Key power skills in the age of AI is also very important to know. You can't know all the power skills, but at least what are the key skills which you need definitely to occur. And then the challenge of relevance in AI, leverage human intelligence. How do we talked about, I derived from the picture what it means. And then the challenge of relevance in the AI era. How do we keep our relevance? Because there are a lot of talks that we all be replaced. We may not have the current skills may be outdated for the next generation. So how do we still keep our relevance? Where that in the power skills will come handy. Then AI in accounting. I just want to briefly touch on AI in accounting, and I will give credit to some people who helped me to come up with new perspective on that when I reach that slide. Then master irreplaceable human skill in AI. Your preparedness matters. How you prepare for future is what matters the most. So what are the things you need to master that is irreplaceable human skills in AI era? That means the human skill cannot be replicated in AI as of now, but AI also changing. AI elevating human, but how AI? We can't always say, okay, AI is not is as good as human potential, but use AI to elevate our human potential. We have potential. Then next one is human transformation and future readiness. How do you finally transform? Then I'll talk small mention about call to action. What you can after the talk, where do you want to go from here? How can you reach? So what are the action points that you should take? So I'll start. This is one of the slides I saw recently. It was in a presentation made by one of my good friends from Chennai, Mr. Vitar. I like this quote. We stand on a brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the transformation will be unlike anything humankind has experienced before. This is by the chairman and one of the founders of World Economic Forum. He believes that fourth industrial revolution is transformative era that brings physical, digital, and biological systems together. He is overtly optimistic on AI. In his 2025 prediction, he is very optimistic. He said transformative fusion of technical domains remains compelling and influential. That means you cannot disregard and continue with what you're doing and expect that you'll get the same results in the future. And technology like neuroenhancement and genetic edit challenges for our notions and what it means to be human, that is philosophical and ethical protection. That means he still says that there are something which is human, which will play as a human skills, which we need to nurture and learn consciously. So this is one of the latest statement by Sam Altman. He's a CEO of OpenAI. He's just 40 years old. I saw he center figure in AI globally. He's center figure and revolution. He has a bold vision and transformative leadership. And for all that, he's just 40 years old. And he says takeoff has started. Just a couple of days ago, he said takeoff has started. What does it mean? What does he mean by that? He said rapid, irreversible progression of AI into an era of digital super intelligence. Okay, era of super intelligence. Super intelligence, I'll talk about it later, but it means any intellect that generally greatly exceeds the cognitive performance of humans. So super intelligent AI, if it exceeds the human. So then let's get humanity has crossed the event horizon, meaning AI's growth and impact accelerate on a massive scale. with system becoming self-improving and increasingly autonomous. Meaning autonomous means can do independently without human beings' intervention. So an even horizon, that is the time has come, meaning where AI's growth and impact will accelerate on a massive scale. He has given a big warning. We are to listen to, he's the founder of, one of the persons who the world looks upon to know more about AI. AI systems will perform cognitive tasks, make scientific discoveries, and enable robots to perform complex real-world jobs. So according to him, AI systems will perform cognitive tasks, which is supposed to be human. But he says that scientific discoveries will make it and enable robot to perform complex real-world jobs. So robot will do complex real-world jobs, make, of course, human life easy, but can also do something which human being has been doing. By 2026, AI agents will produce new insights. That next year, it will produce new insights. We'll have another probably decade, another sea of change coming up. And by 2027, advanced robotics will emerge. So why I'm saying all this? Why did I take a quote from him? That also recent talk. It means how important it is for us to be ready and prepared. So during the entire talk, I'm keeping in mind how this technological revolution and the takeoff, as I mentioned, would affect us as professionals and how we can be better prepared to be in this, to circumvent this change or be part of the change or to manage the change or to be above the change. So that means you have the control over the changes that is happening. So AI tools are creating recursive loop. It's very recursive loop means AI is helping to build even better AI. But the current AI is helping to better AI. You would have heard of the agentic AI and all. It learns quickly from the knowledge that you interact with it. So let's say, what does it mean? What is the context and implication of what he said? He said about takeoff. One good thing he said, it's not overnight revolution, though it is an accelerating pace. It's a continuous process rather than an overnight revolution, though it is an accelerating pace. You see the picture I put, it's already taken off. Taken off means you are in acceleration, but it is not going to happen like overnight. Okay, one day on 1st January 2027 or 2026, we are going to face these changes. No, it will be an accelerating pace. So we have time. Society should, this is another beautiful statement. Society should focus on ensuring AI and eventual super intelligence remains broadly accessible, not concentrated in the hands of a few. So what he's saying is ensure that AI and eventual super intelligence remains broadly accessible and not concentrated in the hands of few. That means he wants it to be available for those who want to learn, want to make use of, and benefit by these technological revolution. Don't leave it with the few hands of a few, like in the good old system. It was concentrated in the hands of few, but don't remain like that. It has to be spread to many people. So any intellect that greatly exceeds the cognitive performance of humans, outperform. That means outperform what we do, outperform. Broader implication, third thing is broader implication is that power, knowledge, and economic value could shift rapidly as intelligence becomes cheap and accessible as electricity. Is that power, knowledge, and economic value could shift rapidly. It won't remain in the few hands. It will be accessible like as much as electricity. Electricity is now available with everyone. So the intelligence, it was used to be held by few very knowledgeable or intellectual, what we call it, or the smartest people in the world. So it will not be like that. In few years, people will be people have opportunity to be smarter, provided they work towards it. And he says the era of super intelligent AI is no longer theoretical and distant future. It has already begun. And the transformation it brings will be profound and unpredictable. Oh, I'm just pausing it for you to think about it. It says the transformation it brings will be profound and unpredictable. It means it will improve exponentially and replicate humans and neural, and enhance human, life if you live with it, if you understand it, if you're part of it. So this is what technological revolution is in the context of AI. Then there can be many things, other things will be coming up during this course, but I'm confining myself to AI and broadly based on our accounting professionals. So let's see what power skills means. So this one nice quote I found from an institute called Niagara Institute says, power skills are non-technical, role agnostic skills that enable individuals to interact effectively, navigate change, and drive overall success in the workplace. These skills go beyond expertise in a particular job or field, as they can be applied in many different contexts and industries. Oh, it's a long definition. So what does it mean? It means non-technical skills, agnostic non-tech skills. Agnostic is still non-technical skills. Also be, and it means it interact, it navigate, and it drives success. These skills go beyond, in a particular job and or field, and it's applicable in different contexts and different industries. So I'll go for more easier definition. In the age of AI, power skill refer to the uniquely human capability that artificial intelligence cannot replicate. Replicate means cannot produce, and are crucial for successful human-AI collaboration. Power skills refer to uniquely human capability that artificial intelligence cannot replicate and are crucial for successful human collaboration. Also, to say further, AI amplifies by augmenting decision-making, freeing people to focus on higher level strategic, creative, and emotional work. That means these sort of, many inputs for decision-making gets done by AI and make us to focus on more strategic, more creative, and work that involves emotions. These skills differentiate high-performing human workers. So if we can routine tasks, repetitive tasks, which involves a lot of work, a lot of manual work if done manually, if it is automated through AI, you end up spending your time for much bigger, better things. And that will elevate you. Power skills are career assets and base for resilience in an unpredictable world. Those who lead with empathy, adaptability, and creativity will shape the future of work. So, what does career asset means? It enhances professional value. That's what career assets. And help to succeed, grow, and adopt. Meaning, adopt means come up to, when situation changes, you be with the situation, work, able to work and deliver value. Personal and professional strength that make you valuable. So these are the power skills that the career assets could, bring. So let's see what are the key. This is the second portion. Now, second portion I talked about power skills. After technological revolution, we talked briefly about power skill. What does it broadly means in the context of AI? And now we go to the next third level, which says power skills in this age of AI. So one is cognitive skills. Cognitive skills is core mental abilities that enables us to think, learn, reason, and solve problems. I repeat, cognitive skills, because some of you may not be familiar with this, buzzwords or, jargons, but it's very commonly used in the term by HR and behavioral science and all that. It means core mental abilities that enable us to think, learn, reason, and solve problems. And these are foundation for knowledge. Social and emotional skills. Again, I mean, I don't need to explain these emotional skills. What are the empathy, acting with kindness, ethical things. Ethical and contextual skills is the third aspect. I put these key power skills in the age of AI into three categories, and we'll go to each one of these for more details. So human skills that AI cannot replace is what I'm saying as key power skills in the age of AI. So what we cannot replace, and also when I put those details, I'll also try to give you a summary so that you can think over, or you can, if you want, you can write and keep a note what it means. So let's see. Cognitive skills, creative thinking. Creative thinking is genuine originality and ability to imagine entirely new concepts. Human creativity drives innovation and help explore possibilities. So vital skills for innovation, decision making, and giving insight to any situation. So like for example, if you say that AI generate content from some basic data, which is available, but then it is the creative thinkers who can put the data into different perspective and bring that originality and ability for bringing out new concept, new knowledge. So critical thinking, another one. So critical thinking is, again, means humans must assess the accuracy, relevance, and ethics of AI outputs, recognizing limitations and potential biases, question assumption and interpret patterns. This is why critical thinking for AI means. No, that means actively analyzing, actively engage with your skills in analyzing, evaluating, and getting the information in the right form. So it also comes out with a reasoned judgment and make informative decisions. So critical thinking helps it questions, because AI works on assumption and interpret patterns. But we need to check the accuracy, relevance, and ethics. Otherwise, it can mislead. So I'll come to that a little more in detail when we reach. There are some more slides which comes about it. Then problem solving. So again, as AI handle routine tasks, humans will focus on more complex, novel, and ambiguous challenges that require nuanced reasoning and judgment for solutions. Again, problem solving it's a skill by itself. It's a cognitive skill by itself. You find this data, you find the alternatives, you find the impact or implications, and you arrive at the best option. And that problem solving needs a sort of proper process, and that comes with learning the problem solving skills. So in a structured manner. Adaptability and continuous learning. It's again one of the core skills, cognitive skills. The rapid pace of AI development means that continuous learning and adaptability. I just mentioned about Sam Altman's talk recently and what implication, the context in which he talked about it, and what are its implications. Adaptability means the ability to adjust and in challenging environments so that you are resilient and forward-thinking. You have diverse experience, scenario thinking. There are different ways of getting it, learning, the continuous learning, as a process, and we'll talk about it. Now, the second part of social, and first we talked about cognitive skills. Now we talk about social and emotional skills. Emotional intelligence. I think this is one of the most commonly used word. The ability to manage emotion is uniquely human advantage. EQ matters for leadership, interpersonal dynamics that AI cannot handle. So emotional intelligence, EQ, is the ability to manage human emotions in a uniquely human advantage. EQ matters for leadership, interpersonal dynamic that AI cannot handle. Second is communication. Communication is, I just talk about what does emotional intelligence means. It's a self-awareness, self-regulation. That means we control ourselves. It's about motivation, and it's empathy, social skills, all that comes under emotional intelligence. Trust, team, ethics, connection, compassion, respect, all this comes under that. Then second comes the communication. Communication is the glue that binds capabilities. And AI augmented workplace, humans must translate data and technical concepts into accessible, actionable strategies. Okay, what does it be? Communication, why is it, what does it, communication means? There's a sender, there's a message, there is a channel, there is a receiver. Unless these four things synchronizes correctly, you may get a wrong message. You may not get the message at all. So it has to be synchronized. You should know to interpret, you should learn interpersonal communication extremely well, so that because it is the foundation for human connection. It is a foundation for collaboration. It is foundation for understanding, anything, any concept or any creativity. So communication becomes very critical power skill in this segment. And collaboration. Human skill collaboration is, understand. Collaboration is when you work together. Here we'll say human AI collaboration is role clarity. It's very important. AI possesses data sets, tasks. Human must provide context, empathy, strategic direction to achieve goals. So what is human? What is AI process data sets and tasks, but humans must possess context, empathy, and strategic direction to achieve goals. I'll broadly say what collaboration means: working together with others to achieve a shared goal by combining skills, combining skills, perspective, and resources in a spirit of mutual respect and trust. Maybe it's high sounding. It means, I'll make it simple. It means working together with others, simple, to achieve a shared goal, because shared goal means both of us have same goals. How do you do that? By combining the skills, perspectives, and resources in a spirit of mutual respect and trust. So it's a combination of three, that in a collaboration, you're working together, there's a shared goal, and there are the ways of doing it. So let's see empathy, and we talked about empathy and trust building. Empathy allows professionals to build trust, handle sensitive issues, and design systems that meet human needs, not just optimize for efficiency. So empathy allows professionals to build trust, handle sensitive issues, and design systems that meet human needs, not just optimize for efficiency. So again, I'll say in a probably easy language, empathy is understanding and sharing feeling that builds trust, that have compassion, and that has emotions between people. So that's where, empathy and trust building works together. Let's see the third aspect, ethical and contextual aspect. Ethical is, ethical decision making in AI systems are trained with data, which may contain biases, which is a likely thing. What you put in, it may not depend if some person who create AI, uh, see, platform, bring out his bias in that. Humans are to provide ethical oversight, mitigate bias, ensure fairness, and uphold human values. So it is ethical decision as, it should be based on moral principles such as integrity, justice, benevolence, beneficial accountability, transparency, and all that. So it is AI systems, our job as a human being, and also in looking at from the professional point of view, we have to provide ethical oversight. Oversight meaning broadly means that you give we give an supervisory role and mitigate bias. So that means plan to reduce the bias by ways of putting into the process, ensure fairness. Fairness is being fair to everyone who is a stakeholder in the process, and uphold human values, which is much above rest of the things. Human values should be protected. So ethical decision making is like pragmatism. It's again a beautiful word to use. Pragmatism involves, I'll again tell about what in the context involves assessing the practicality and usefulness of AI solution to solve real world problems. Balancing what AI can do with what is actually effective and valuable. Okay. So this is, what does it mean? Again, pragmatism, I told you it's a beautiful word. It's a philosophy of what works. Philosophy of what works in complexity or clarity and flexibility and purpose. So what works in a situation like that, where there's a balancing act. AI solution provides real world problem, balancing what AI can do with what actually effective and valuable. So like if you take a metaphor, it's a banyan tree, like, pragmatism, it can give a shadow, but at the same time, roots can spoil something else. So it is the pragmatism is whether you want to use that or not. So what is the tradition? What is the uh, adaptability? What is do we need the shelter? So thinking in that lines. So AI literacy, we need to know how AI works, its capabilities, and its limitation. It allows us to effectively interact with AI tools, interrupt insights, and contribute to AI initiatives. AI literacy is no, it's sort of understanding and evaluating the contents that is used in AI, how it is. Some people say that the machine learning people can explain what goes in. So otherwise, people don't. If we are not able to understand AI, how do we even have an oversight role? So that's where we need to have that continuous learning also. We have to learn with what is going in as a skills, and we should understand the skills gap. We should demonstrate our knowledge. We should engage with people who are there. We should understand what are the whether it is ethically agreeable or consented, and there is an informed decision making. So the AI literacy will help you in all that. So now let's go to the third part. We talked about human intelligence. That's one portion of my talk. How do we leverage human intelligence with AI? So I would say leverage human intelligence AI is to create a symphony of insights and innovation where wisdom guides technology. Okay, again, high sounding, but I'd say basically human intelligence, for example, basic human intelligence involves emotional insight, ethical judgment, creativity, and a story for their purpose, and strategic thinking. It also involves contextual nuances. These are a part of the human intelligence, which is probably exclusive. not easily, as of now, replicatable. So let's see what is AI capability. AI capability includes, pattern recognition. It will understand the pattern of data and recognize and bring us some idea. So it's probably some triggers, so probably some uh, decision support, now knowledge. Then another AI capability, data processing. It's capable of processing data faster and with multiple data. Even in audit, I'm an auditor. Earlier we used to go for sampling. Today we can look at the entire data and bring out the right sample across the data field, multiple data field. Generative modeling, we can also again AI do modeling. Predictive analysis, this been there for the mark in use for a long time, but predictive analytics is extremely used. Particularly, you can use what if, like what if it happens, but what will be if the figures go, like if my turnover goes, if goes up, or if my gross margin changes, if my productivity changes to productivity increases or decreases, what are the consequences? Or even in a forensic, we can even look at the data perspective analytic it can be done. We can look at, the uh, like we can look at it in a different way to find out how what would have happened, where it would have changed. So how do we bring out synergy? Which is I'll come to this that broadly. I'm talking about it. Then before we go to this major slide, so we need to have an automation. Okay, responsible decision making pattern, content creation, proper content creation, and visionary planning and communication. All these are where synergy is being built between human intelligence and AI. Now let's see what we can automate what we can automate with AI. Automate repetitive tasks, of course, without saying, that frees employees focus so that they can focus more on complex, strategic, and creative work. Augment human decision making by using AI to analyze large data sets and identify patterns that humans might miss. So augment human decision making by AI to analyze what again I talked about earlier, by factual basis, providing factual basis for human judgment. Establish clear roles for AI collaboration, defining which tasks are best suited for AI, versus human. So in the world of data, the future lies with those who translate insight into influence and face change. This is the learning. This is the insight I want to give from this slide. In the world of data, the future lies with those who translate insight into influence and face change. That means, the data is there, and how you take the insight from the data by, whatever I said in by the from the AI, tools, and then take that insight into influence and face change. You make that, influence the decisions and also bring that adaptability to change. So adaptability, that takes me automatically to adaptability. What does it mean? Adaptability. So I will go slow from here because I don't know whether I would be too fast to your liking or too heavy in terms of the subject. But I am conscious that most of my audience are my fellow Indian chartered accountants or others who and they are the best in the world in terms of technology, particularly in the AI domain and in also in behavioral or even the content what I'm talking about. So and many of I think my audience must be youngsters, much younger than me. Of course, youngster depends on how you are up to date with your information, with your knowledge, with your skills, and with your ability to convey those. And many parts of the world, you have to not only know things, but you have to also let others know that you know things. So you have to have that expressiveness. You have to have that impressiveness built on you. That requires, a lot of learning, a lot of change readiness. So let's see adaptability. Adaptability is, I'll just give a small definition before I go into the adaptability in terms of AI. Adaptability is the cornerstone for future readiness. Evolve with change, thrive amid uncertainty and disruption. I mean, it's a cornerstone for future readiness. In terms of what? Evolve with change, thrive amid uncertainty and disruption. We talk a lot about in any paper we talk about, you read any white paper, you find disruption as a word. I thought disruption is something which we should not talk about, but disruption today is the reality. If you're not ready for the disruption happening, your business can be wiped out, or even you may lose your position. So adaptability is also not just reacting to change. Again, an important statement. It's not just reacting to change. It's about anticipating it, learning from it, and leading through it. So adaptability is not just reacting to change. You may be late if you react to change, and wait or take your time to react to change. You have to anticipate it to a certain extent, what is coming. You have to have that conversation with people who matters, probably the resources where it can be picked. Probably the trainings you have to attend, probably the books you have to read, the places you have to travel. All that will bring you that readiness. The change, it's anticipating it, learning from it. Again, it's a big skill. You should be able to differentiate that learning and take it as part of you to develop it and get some expertise over it and leading through it. Again, once you go through this process, you have to implement in your own workplace or in your own life or in your whatever things you do. So adaptability, I'm giving you the traits I tell you before I go. The traits of adaptability is curiosity. Many people think that curiosity is childlike. It's curiosity like child, like children. It's something, it's a skill that we should never forget. No matter how old you are, you have to be curious to know. Resilience. Resilience is capability to build back. Resilience is a word that became very popular post-COVID. How far you are resilient to get back and get ready to go to business. Agility. Third thing is adaptability traits. I'm talking about traits. Agility. Agility is being able to do faster, agile. Even there's in the world, we talk about agile internal auditing. Agile internal auditing, when I attended a session in one of the conferences, I heard about a person from the chief auditor of probably Walmart in the US for talking about agile auditing. And I was shocked. Came back and I want to use even having a one-day audit and giving a one-page report for my management. So doing it within a day, the whole thing. So you have to do it in your own way. That I'm not saying what I did is the right thing for the agile auditing, but see how you start with what you can do and open-mindedness. Many people question. It's important to question, but we should have open-mindedness to listen. The listening is a very critical adaptability traits, and that comes from that is what brings an open-mindedness. So let's go to how we use that in terms of AI. Invest in reskilling and upskilling programs to build AI fluency alongside power skills to prepare the workforce to adopt to new technologies, to take on new roles, to prepare the workforce to invest in reskilling, upskilling programs, to build AI fluency. There are three things which we cannot, today's world, you cannot avoid. One is learn, unlearn, relearn, reskill, upskills. These are the words which, these are the actions or which sounds from the word that we cannot do away with. We have to be, if you want to be one among the top. Second, prioritize a culture of experimentation and curiosity. We talked about what are the skills I mentioned about curiosity. Culture of experimentation and curiosity. Engage employees to try new AI tools and continuously learn, creating an environment to discover high-value AI. Again, there are a lot of misconceptions. People use ChatGPT or Copilot or something of now any other tool of AI. I think that okay, they are in AI, and they invariably end up using it for using up making a better sentence, better para, better observation of an audit finding or some communication. But there's much more than that. AI tools has to be used for much more than that. It's not peripheral. You cannot be, I'm talking about like some people use Perplexity. I mean, I'm not saying these tools are peripheral, but to how we use it to get the best out of it in for our decision support or for our understanding, building our understanding better, that matters most. So third thing, implement feedback loops where humans regularly review and correct AI output. This refines AI models and builds trust on collaborative process. So we have to implement feedback loops where humans regularly review and correct AI output. If you find, don't just take AI output and go to management or go to your client and say it as something like gospel truth. Do your own study. Ensure that what you're saying is right. There's no technical error, or there is something which is data is missing in that. Some assumptions are not right. You have to do your own testing before you take it up. No, this morning I was watching one news channel which had robo news anchor. And when she was giving two news, one was about some innovation or something like that. Another was about a disaster. But the face looked same. When a human news anchor talk about some disaster, he or she will show, mellow down the voice, don't show some anxiety in the face. No, the behavioral changes will be uh, evident. But today, the news anchor, I was surprised that, with an AI behind and it's a news anchor, it's a good thing to do to start with. But these things we should know. When I noticed it, probably it was back of my mind, it was my presentation. But I noticed I've been looking at that channel for many days or many months, but I didn't observe this. But today I clearly observed it. So what I'm saying is anything, don't take it for face value unless you build that level of trust by using it, by ensuring that your own methodology brings the similar thing. So innovation is not about, this is the thought here, innovation is not about integrating AI into processes. It is by integration of human and machine powered by empathy, insight, and soft skills. So I hope I made this clear. So adaptability of future readiness require, that building much more learning. So let's go to the next slide, which is about unique value of human insights. Leverage human intelligence with AI. We talked about how we use AI, and how I said adaptability, how AI and human interact. And third one is how you use the human insight into AI thing. Just before I go to the specific thing, I'd say human insight is the ability to interpret, and read between lines and connect seemingly unrelated dots to cover meaning. That means read between the lines and connect seemingly unrelated dots to cover meaning. Human insight is the ability to interpret how we interpret with much more deeper knowledge, which includes beyond technical ones. So how do we look at, we look at, human intelligence, why people act in a particular way. So in AI, they say what knows why people do something. That there is a data which interrupt like that. Then the emotion is you feel and interrupt something. In AI, it detects patterns and tell you what it is. So I'm saying how human intelligence and AI can be correlated. We'll go to the thing. Human insights spark innovation and drive business. The ability to learn, adapt, and innovate makes it competitive and resilient. Human insight sparks innovation and drive business. Yes. It starts with human insight. And how do we learn, adopt and innovate makes it competitive and resilient. From human insight, you have to work on it. Humans are essential to ensure that technology operates responsibly, mitigating risks such as bias and unintended outcomes. I talked about it earlier. Humans are essential. Here, what is important is humans are essential to ensure that technology operates responsibly, mitigating risks such as bias and unintended outcomes. I hope it's not too complicated. It's through human oversight that AI systems are continuously refined to serve broader societal goals. Again, going back to the beginning statement, the Sam Altman said that, it's a recursive loop. And also, in the new agentic AI, it starts with zero probably, agentic AI. Then it builds on the knowledge based on how you interact. So it's how much you use is how knowledge gets built. So it is, human oversight that AI said continuously refined. Human oversight means again supervising one. As business environments evolve, strategy that govern the AI changes. Correct? Again, it's a statement. Business environments keep changing, it keep evolving, and strategy that govern in AI should also change accordingly. No, something which when we as a consultant or a advisor for business, what we see is what the business model, whether the business model need to change. If there is particularly in a consulting, we go with a problem. They say that okay, the margins come down and we don't know the productivity has come. We go with that sort of problem and look at things. What is the environment, change in the environment, why it happened, whether your competition is doing something better or we are out of competition because of pricing, whether our productivity is not good, we are not giving them right training, we don't have right equipment, we don't have right machinery, we don't have nice environment to work. So all that, I remember, I can't use the name of the company, but when we used to have the standards, like in a factory workflow, say the machine goes through from one portion, one place to another. There's a standard. There was a different standard for the country where it manufactured, and when it came to India, there was a different standard. That is Indian. I mean, how much time we should take to do it was different from how much and it was taking in Germany or Japan or in other countries. We given that sort of allowance for not being able to evolve to the need what was available in the other country where the machine was manufactured or the process was picked up. So how do we in future? I think we cannot afford to have that sort of lag. We need to be in line or even more efficient. So let's go to this one. Then the takeaway: the efficiency of AI is complemented by human creativity. The collaboration enables production of engaging, high-quality content, driving innovation, and delivering competitive edge. Complemented by human creativity, how do we collaborate? To make the complement a useful exercise. So let's see the third dimension. Human skills empower intelligent collaboration. See this figure here. It's based on a recent study, the demand supply. Okay. It says demand for technical skills remained around 20% points ahead of supply. Technical skills remains around 20% ahead. Demand is more. The supply is less by 20% for technical skills. Look at the behavioral skills. Demand for behavioral has increased and is now over 25% points ahead of supply. So technical skills were almost there. There is availability only to the extent of 20% less, but behavioral skills still lagging behind by 25%. That means that people with technical skill, with right behavioral skills could be the game changers. So human skills empower intelligent collaboration. That's what it says. I'll give you some examples. Deloitte 2025 General Gen Z survey says 2/3 focus on AI, but 85% believe in human skills. It's based on a survey. I have to give that credit to Deloitte. Aura's 2025 job market report. Even in AI-heavy roles, interpersonal skills and problem solving with trust and clarity lead. Human skills transform qualification into business impact. Human skills transform qualification into business impact. That's what I said. So the job market also, even AI-heavy roles, interpersonal skills and problem solving with trust and clarity still leads clearly. Now third, AI reshapes work, but human creativity is equally valuable. So AI-generated results and automation are the new baseline. The AI-generated result and automation are new baseline, but AI reshapes work, but human creativity is equally valuable. You have a baseline, but AI-generated result is an automation of baseline, but baseline is not good enough. You need to be better. So can a person connect with the team? These are the questions which come up. Can he lead? Can he navigate complexity? That is where human judgment wins. So even that's what he said, even in AI-heavy roles, interpersonal skills become more. Interpersonal and problem solving with trust and clarity lead. This is what he said. That's where human judgment wins. So we talked about leverage human intelligence in three aspects. One was that automate. First about we talked about how we automate with AI. Second, adaptability for future readiness. Third, we talked about unique value of human insights. Now, how we have skills to intelligent collaboration, how we need to have the skills to intelligent collaboration. Now we are going for the next big part of the challenge of relevance in AI era. We talked about, what power skills are. We talked about how, we had to be industry. First, we talked about technical revolution. Then we talked about power skill. Then we talked about the power skills, different power skills which needed in the AI era. Then we talked about how we built human intelligence with AI. Now we are going to the next part of which says challenge of relevance in AI era. Before I go into the detail, I just want to give a brief. So how we ensure that human skills value remain essential amid rapid automation and algorithmic decision making. So how to stay relevant means evolving with technology, not being replaced by it. Simple as that. Staying relevant, why? Means evolving with technology, not being replaced by it. It's a problem for all. It's not a problem, it's an opportunity. It's a problem. There's also opportunity for all of us to, but opportunity is only if you realize it. First thing, accept it, then realize it that it's applicable to us, you or me, individually, and then work for it, work to be uh, part of it and above it. So what are the challenges, What can replace that? Skills obsolescence. I think it's Aristotle who said that, it's it's thinking that you get different results by doing same thing is foolishness. It is foolish to expect different results by doing the same thing. So we need to do different things to get a different results. And one important thing in this context is that what you've done so far, probably 5 years past, or even last 2 years, will not take us to next 2 years with the similar results. We can be easily, someone else may overtake us. So what are the things? So what you do about what you have to do about it? You should avoid skill obsolescence. You should have proper ethical and social understanding so that we avoid bias, we have transparency, we have trust as a human being. We have to have right knowledge to make contextual judgment. Meaning, based on the context, take the right judgment on any decision making. So this is also a separate skill. We'll talk about how to acquire those skills in another phase when I go there. Then over dependence. How do we avoid over dependence on anything, whether it is AI, whether over dependence on our own skills and ability? Many people don't even think of sharing the knowledge, or even, leaving it somebody else. When you are absent, they want to carry it with them. So identity and purpose, that's another aspect. So let's go to space. The future accountancy is not just about being digital. It's about being deeply human in a digital world. Here I have to say that some of these important lines that is mentioned here as a takeaway or insight, I have to thank people like, I'll thank when I specifically use their content, like Bhavani Joy, who is a trainer and she's a chartered accountant. She was very kind enough to provide her perspective. And another is Dr. Sridhar Ramurthy. He's again a research, and he's currently involved in a lot of research, particularly the behavioral side. He's also a chartered accountant. He's from the US. He's a good friend of mine for a long time. There's also a few others like Sylvia Donar, she's also part of Institute of Auditors. She's also into behavioral aspects. And also some of my good friends like who works on trust-based leadership. Her name is Devika Hastak. She's in Canada. And these people also, I had to give the due credit to them. I used with their permission to use some of these folks, which I found. So this is one of the very nice sentence I found. The future of accounting is not just about being digital. See, the other day I had an opportunity to talk to IT auditors. I'm also a CISA. In that, I was mentioning that I passed CISA exam in 2000, year 2000. And probably in year 2001, I went for a basic training to UK in a place called Brighton for 2 weeks. My company sent to me, said that it's not good enough to you have the theoretical knowledge. You should acquire practical understanding how to implement it in our company and how far the company is IT dependent. So then when I talked about it and I found we were a group of 20 people, basically most of them were from the UK itself and very few from our part of the world, Asia. And many of them said that, later when we were in touch, many of them said that they moved to IT. And some of them became, they are doing extremely well. They were researchers, they were innovators, and they sold some of their startups for $100 million and stuff like that. But I didn't do that proverbial switch. I continued to be with my base as a chartered accountant, as an auditor, and I'm happy about it. It has both sides. But what I'm saying is a lot of us change, being fully digital, and we don't get into our core learning. Probably our core learning helped us to being in the digital phase also, or digital place also. But here what is saying, it is about being deeply human in a digital world. That makes, according to me, all the changes. So let's see the challenges. So what is the first challenge? So the first top challenges facing AI, we'll talk about it. Generative AI, automation, and predictive analytics. I talked about predictive analytics. It is something which really helped many of us. I would have taken about 10 days work or 2 weeks work, making, in a business plan and or giving a different direction for a new business entity or business model. So today, these predictive analytics will make it you can get it in few hours, provided you ensure that you're getting the right information, you are asking for the right thing, you have your own homework done. So predictive analytics, and the challenge is no longer just doing the work right, but ensuring that the right work is done by the right minds. The challenge is no longer just doing the work right, but ensuring that the right work is done by the right minds. This is what I was talking about. It's all redefining nature of work, but the challenge is there. AI will not replace professionals. It's again a beautiful statement. I think it is again thanks to uh, uh, Bhavani who provided this. It says that she picked up from one of the conferences and it is available in her social media post also. Routine tasks are being replaced by automation. Complex tasks are being absorbed by AI. So humans must now focus on what only humans can do, the impossible. Again, beautifully crafted. Every word will means a lot. Try to get that where it can be used. And routine tasks are being replaced by automation. Complex tasks are being absorbed by AI. Humans must now focus on what only humans can do, the impossible. It is a quote from, I think his name is Balsu. So the heart of the matter, human intelligence and power skills will be the differentiator. So what is the next one? How should we reframe our mindset? This is entirely from Bhavani. I have to give that credit. She mentioned three things. Success of accountants was attributed to technical competence, hard skills, and credentials. Hard skills means, again, the knowledge of what you learn, like in accounting or law or taxation. These are the hard skills. And credential, what qualification you possess, which gives, again, the trust and respect as a professional. In the age of AI, mindset becomes critical assets. And she talks about three different mindsets. Victim mindset. Victim mindset is wait for a perfect opportunity. Again, you see us in the picture given, what is the victim mindset is problem. It's in the red color. It's a disregard, deny, blame others, justify or excuses for not doing, avoiding something, inaction. These are the problem, and that's a victim mindset. Work to a problem like in this way, in this circle, in this way. Whereas the victor mindset is different. So victim mindset, wait for perfect opportunity and readiness to look at in a fast-paced world, waiting is missing out, and it's it's a self-fulfilling fulfilling prophecy of stagnation. So waiting is a stagnation. In this current pace of the world, waiting means you lost opportunity. And it says there's also worker mindset. If you say diligent and busy, but lacking confidence or growth lens. It means, worker mindset, they work hard. They have dreams. They continuously and keeps doing what they want to do, what they had to do. But they lack confidence. They never come out of comfort zone, and that way they miss the chance to shine. This is worker mindset. Why I'm emphasizing this is, are we getting trapped in any of this mindset and that affects our growth? We have to be very careful about it. Then winner mindset is, again, here you say self-respect, solution. In the diagram, you find that resilient, self-aware, proactive. So it means you have to winner mindset, you have to cultivate confidence, go after opportunities, and winner becomes ready for action any point when the opportunity comes, and resilient and not uncertainty doesn't matter for him. Okay, uncertainty, face it. Okay, so again, I'm giving credit to the author of this particular article. Future-ready people have a winner mindset where inner work becomes as important as outer expertise. They don't fear AI, they partner. Beautifully stated. Future-ready people have a winner mindset where inner work becomes as important as outer expertise. They don't fear AI, they partner. Let's see the next one, communication and influence. What we need to do as a core power skills for the future. So it's also power skills known as soft skills or human skills. Now people don't call it soft skills, it's called more human skills and our hard currency of influence. So communication and influence, we talked about communication. I'd say that to thrive in the AI era, communication influence, power skills must evolve to plant intelligence, storytelling, technical fluency, that's and enabling humans to interrupt, shape AI-driven interactions. So it says intentional, impactful communication, business storytelling. Today, people say don't state even in audit reports, like in internal audit reports, we have to convey to the audit committees, probably in a manner of storytelling, because their attention span is limited. You have to get the best out of the time available. So you have to make the right story and tell it in the right way so that they listen, they accept, they act. So listening beyond words, again, you have to understand from people the body language, whether it means sort of acceptance or probably ignoring us or disregarding what you're saying, or the body language can make a lot. A long time back I saw one of the TV long ago, and it was a general, and was army general was saying, we will capture the countries, something like that, and he was hitting on the lectern with his hand, and that body language is surely saying what he meant. If he same thing, if he said, okay, we'll capture the country, we are closer to it, people don't trust because he didn't show that the body language. So you need to even when people get bored. You can make out if you're in a conference and some people looking at watch frequently or start yarning or something, you immediately can make out that you're losing their connection. So you need to tell them what you need to tell them. And that is your success. So there you need to listen beyond words, framing insights. So strategic communication is not just speaking, it's about crafting impactful narratives, listening between lines, and framing insight and clarity and context to influence with intention. Again, it's an important insight. Strategic communication is not just speaking or speaking well, it's about crafting impactful narratives, listening between lines, and framing insight and clarity and context to influence with intention. So it is both verbal, body language, and the amount of influence you can make from your own posture and presence. So let's go to critical thinking and judgment. This is another important thing. It's judging and critical thinking, it's pattern recognition. Critical thinking helps to see clearly, while good judgment helps to act wisely. Okay, critical thinking helps to see clearly, while good judgment helps to act wisely. So it is pattern recognition and system thinking that comes from the critical thinking. Root cause analysis and decision making under uncertainty, probably it's more judging human skill, bringing discerning relevance from data to make educated decisions, defining this. So these are, I don't want to read this. So finally, it means you need to get these skills, both critical thinking, what you can, it's like mission driven by team purpose, self-team. So same way, judging, ego-driven, self-presentation, all this. So let's go to the next one. So these skills together form a powerful leadership trait to see the big picture, act with precision, and lead with clarity. So together, both are needed. So what AI can do, it's wired together. If you look at it, it's one wire connecting both. It's wired together, but how do we understand to see the big picture and act with precision, what each can do, and lead with clarity? That matters. So now, presence and emotional, we talked about emotional intelligence. So let's see, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence means is capacity to understand and manage emotions and recognize and influence others' emotions. Presence is again, presence is your ability to project confidence, authenticity, and calm. So I talked about presence when you are, communicating. This is the presence when you are so you should have the ability to project confidence, authenticity. You should talk that sort of authenticity and calm. That you should not get provoked. You should not get too emotional. You have to have that self-awareness, self-regulation, resilience, building trust and rapport high. So empathy is learnable. Many people, empathy is learnable. How to deal with it's not like born. Empathy is not, maybe it's to some extent, to some level, but it is the more important thing to know is that it's learnable. So, it's learnable by how you learnable, how to deal with situation, build relationship, listen actively, and ask the right question, improve the team, and learn communication. All this makes it learnable. So the ability to remain composed and resilient in ambiguity while cultivating trust and authentic connection across function. So let's go to the next, learning agility and curiosity. This again core skills for the future. Learning agility and curiosity comes. We talked about curiosity. Curiosity is inquisitive mindset. So sometimes I remember how, people, the kids will ask how ants are carrying such a big food grain or something. The ants are so small. I would say it's a curiosity. That curiosity made, is something which we should never leave. So willingness to experiment, again, that's part of the curiosity. Okay, you've got curiosity, you've got inquisitive mindset, but the willingness to experiment and passion for continuous learning. These three are. So here, what does it mean, learning agility and curiosity in this our context? It means comfort with unlearning and relearning. I talked about it. Unlearn, relearn is very critical. Experimenting with new tools, tech tools, ChatGPT, growth mindset is another big area. I don't want to get into it. It will take long time. The growth mindset. Develop habits for continuous learning and digital exploration. Develop habits for continuous learning and digital exploration. Okay, these are not skills we are born with. This is what I was saying. It can be learned. They are trainable, coachable, cultivatable, and not replicated by machines. And I know for sure there are many people who coach, including chartered accountants, in these skills. And and that can be very lethal combination. We are the chartered about our technical skills, and along with we learn these skills, together it can be a very great arsenal for us to deal with in our life. So now let's see path forward. What you have to do: master your technical skills, understand AI, automation, and analytics, elevate your human intelligence, invest in power skills to redefine. We talked about all these. In the new world, AI will assist execution. Humans must lead with insight, connection, and ethical decision making. So here he says, if you look at artificial intelligence started from 1956, we got all the boost in last 5 years or so. Machine learning started in 1997, ability to learn without explicitly being programmed. So artificial any technique that enables computer to mimic human behavior. That's from 1950. Deep learning, extract patterns from data using neural networks in 2012. And agentic AI is software that can pursue, reason, and then act autonomously. That's in the current thinking. Agentic AI. And that builds the entire logic. Even when I looked at few things during my preparation, it carries forward my, particularly with my iPad, I was looking at Copilot, and it continuously give a reflection from my interactions in the previous uh, uh, previous inquiries. So here the takeaway is the profession must evolve. I call it here takeaway because it is not, it's something which you should understand. Profession must evolve, not just evolve with tools and technology, but evolve at the level of the human being. So again, don't give up. So now the next part, I'm giving credit to, I mentioned Dr. Ramurthy, Sri Ramurthy, and also Dr. Christina Harrison, again, his fellow researcher, and Kosey Campbell, specifically a doctor works currently in, I think, Dayton University. Yeah, he's in Dayton University and he's a research scholar. Yes, what I was heard from him last was he got a job which is for life. Yes, they kept him as kept him in that position. Intelligence, again, his statement, intelligence may be artificial, but the story must be human. He was recently in India and we had an opportunity to hear him out. He spoke about AI, but he spoke more about the human side of AI. He gave a 1 hour talk to the auditors, and quite intensive and interesting. So what did he say about AI in accounting? So he says gold star to AICP, ASI Association of that certified public accountants from the US. Pre-science means, it means it's having a foresight that reflects stewardship mindset That means they were awarded Gold Star for prescience. Means AICPA worked with the foresight that reflects the stewardship. Stewardship is more than oversight, and our stewardship mindset. That means they work people. They're anticipating and coming out with readiness for the profession. How we should act in the times of change. So we are human being first before we are accountant, auditors, tax specialists. This is what he says. The meaning of meaning. Again, it's very interesting. It's about a book. I happen to find out what does it mean. Meaning of meaning means study of language, meaning that words meaning is not inherent in the words itself, but it arises from interpretation, context, and symbolic where it is used. Very interesting. 1923 says, don't go words meaning by words meaning. It comes from all this, comes from the arises out of interpretation, how it is interpreted, the context in which it is used, and the symbolic probably area where it matters. So the key question is how to be human in the world of machines. Again, it's a nice book. I'll be giving that book reference, Hannah Fresh book called Hell of World, How to be Human in the World of Machines. It talks about how algorithm, probably will shape our world and in our lives, world will shape our lives, and how we should avoid bias, fairness, and bring out transparency and trust in the AI. So impact on professional culture, this is, generative AI changes everything. Sort of a warning he gave. So intelligence may be artificial, but story must be. So tectonic shifts. Tectonic shifts, again I'm using Dr. C's words. He says it's a massive foundational changes. It means profound transformation that is happening. So again, in accounting world, these accounting journals are, these are the journal AICPA journals. It's an association of international certified public accountants. It's a leading publication, quite well known for its articles, and that articles that can be can bring a new knowledge to people in the accounting world. So again, it's an AMA delivered technical accuracy, efficiency, but it's human judgment that ensures integrity or effectiveness. This is the learning or the insight from the tectonic shift that's happening in the accountants world. So now this is also from it's commonly used even in the recent IT conference. I found this word being used, but it's quite interesting that I thought it's good to bring it up. Human in the loop is, human is another cog in the wheels in the system, exercising ethics and professional judgment, whereas human out of the loop is autonomous, completely without any human being. So you would have definitely experienced both. AI is intelligent, but it's human story that clients believe. Again, from the accounting point of view, it has got a wider repercussion. It will also says, when I went deep into it, if you lose, even recently, the ICAI has got the chat, ICAI GPT, something like that. It's very useful program. So when recent the excise duty, I'm not having much expertise because I'm new to India now and I'm learning the taxation, both direct or indirect taxation. Recent excise duty changes, many people keep asking, since I'm a chartered accountant, practicing chartered accountant, something which is bread and butter for chartered accountant, practicing brings them constant money or keep the income on this indirect taxation, excise duty and income tax. So some people used our GPT, ICAI, AI of CNs to ICAI. So it gave all this, in fact, it gave excellent interpretations. And I thought it's amazing, to use something like that available. Otherwise, you have to go through big books, understand the basic. It gave all interpretation, all case laws, all that you need to know to advise the client on a smaller issue, not on a complex issue. So it is, it's irrespective of the level of complexity and if it's the, often you can use the AI, but at least the clients would like you to say they give more value for your intelligence, human intelligence. And also, they don't want to pay as much money if I give an advice based on looking at some app or putting the figures or in an accounting software or any other or an IT software and bring out and file a return or something like that. They don't pay what they were paying earlier because earlier they said that you people are using a lot of brain, a lot of people spend hours together. Today you're doing it, getting it done. So there is a need that human involvement that the next sentence, if you say human involvement transform technical output into meaningful, trusted audit value. So how do you use it is again up to you. It's levels of human involvement in automated system, especially in AI, robotic, that matters, that helps. So I'll give you an idea. Like if if you look at we are talking about accounting, but if you take a look at the medical world, radiologists will give us the symptoms, and it's a doctor who find out from that symptoms or those results what it could be, what it is, and how to go with the treatment. Similarly, like a pilot in a turbulence, he knows, he gets all the signals through his cockpit recorder or cockpit equipments, but he takes the right decision what he should be doing, even though there may be autopilot and all that. So similarly, somebody talks about content. It's who moderates the content in case of an article to be written for like have been asked to write an article for ICA, one of the committees, but I need to know that insight so well to give a perspective different from what they're doing. So it is human out of the loop. I found when I talked about Waymo, which is in Los Angeles, it uses a car, only one or two types of cars. I think I saw Jaguar being used and I was proud. It's one of the Indian companies, Indian-owned companies from UK. Though. Jaguars were predominantly used for this Waymo, which is autonomous driving, driverless vehicle. We have to pay double the fare. We did pay double to go have a ride in there. So human in the loop will be better, but autonomous also works. Okay, without human in the loop, audit decision risks losing the relational and ethical depth that builds the client trust. So very important. Relational and ethical depth is very critical thing. So that I will tell you what it means. This is a relational one. You have the perceived audit value, there's ethical framing, technical accuracy coming through the perceived fairness. They see that who are the stakeholders, what impact it make, perceived effort they put into the work, perceived effort, again, willingness to accept by the client or the stakeholders. So you need to moderator, perceived AI capability, client technical sophistication, cultural attitude towards certain. So these are all relational value anchoring, relational value anchoring. So anchoring meaning, consistency between what we say and how we show up. So relational value anchoring. So you have the relational, the value anchoring framework, which is put here, but how you finally do it makes a lot of difference. Relational value anchoring framework conceptualizes audit value as multi-dimensional, integrating technical accuracy, relationship, and ethics. See, this one it says conceptualizes audit value as multi-dimensional, integrating technical accuracy, relationship, and ethics. This is what this diagram shows. The world is going in that direction. So this again, same human-centric versus tech-centric. So here the takeaway is knowledge is operator of information and data. In the age of AI, humans will likely to become more valued as perceived value will be enhanced. That is, perceived value will be enhanced because if you look at this small portion, the judgment-centric, if you say judgment, human-centric, wisdom, knowledge, information, data, and technology below is a base. Technology uses data and information, brings out the information, and human judgment uses knowledge and wisdom. So the whole human-centric, tech-centric. The knowledge is an operator of information and data. The age of humans are likely to become, they use more value or perceived value will be enhanced. So again, here, decision-making, humans, of course, humans alone. Manual, we say that supplemented, that means you use technology and use the supplanted means your human is out. So here the it is approaches, it prioritize people needs and emotions and value. Well, tech-centric approaches focus on optimizing systems, automations and technical efficiency. Human-centric allows prioritize people needs. So where knowledge builds capability, skills build capacity. It's very important to know the differentiation. Capability means, its capability means ability or competency to perform a task or function. Ability or competency to perform a task or function. It's a quality aspect. What is capacity means? Capacity means maximum quantity or how much or throughput that can be done. That is a quantitative. That's a quantitative measure. So the capacity is a qualitative measure. Sorry, capability is a qualitative measure. Capacity is a quantitative measure. So capacity is interpersonal. So capacity, the interpersonal, to use the capability well. Capacity is needed to use the capability well. So both are to work together so that we are not supplanted. Supplanted meaning you are not replaced. We are still find a place. So this is something interesting, which again from Dr. Sri, he said, again, he says a very candid statement. AI does not know the right from wrong. It only knows the rules. Again, I'm not validating anything because I'm going by his knowledge or the research they are doing. AI lacks compassion and empathy. AI can simulate empathy, but it doesn't feel anything. No, I talked about it earlier about the lady in the news who didn't feel anything when you're talking about some innovation or even whether talking about some disaster. The face was same. So there's something similar here. Simulate empathy, but doesn't feel anything. AI can be taught to lie without knowing it. It's again very interesting statement. AI can generate falsehood without understanding truth. Because what you put matters. If it's some biased or with some particular reason, it can generate falsehoods without understanding. So AI won't replace auditors. I'm using auditors in general sense. Auditors would include general sense. Auditors will include accountants or tax experts, but auditors who don't engage with AI might be replaced. AI won't replace auditors, but auditors who don't engage with AI might be replaced. So value perception, I will just skip through because I know there's a lot of theory here. What I'm trying to say here is story must be human. There is a value perception we talked about. Loss of human touch is not probably accepted. People don't perceive it rightly. So moderating effects, what the story must be human. When you talk about strategies, where the ethical justification, relational anchoring, influence client responses to AI-assisted work, there should be a lot of human stories should be there. And ethical implication should be, today in the world of, equality or inclusiveness, it is very important ethics plays. How to sustain a relational trust when visible human labor is replaced by invisible algorithmic process. So now hypothesis, what is research? Technical accuracy lead to lower cost, better results. Okay, this is one big statement. He says in the research finding, relational and ethical framing leads to higher value and satisfaction goes up. The net effect is increased due to effectiveness components over efficiency gains. The net effect is increased due to effectiveness components over efficiency gain. So now the last probably part of which I mentioned, we'll talk about how you can learn these irreplaceable human elements to become a better better to become better prepared for this. I will not delve deep into it. I only want to say that, to in an AI era, to thrive, if not to do well, professional must master irreplaceable human skills that machines cannot replicate. So, okay, it is also called sovereign skills. Probably some of you are not familiar with sovereign skills, is what makes leadership, service, and legacy truly human. Sovereign skills, I found that word very interesting, is the essence, what makes leadership, service, and legacy truly human. Sovereign skills cannot be automated. It's a trust and meaning. It talks about legacy. So now see, emotional intelligence training, what it entails, it entails like interpersonal skills. EI entails training, interpersonal skills, leadership and collaboration, all trainable. EI, human strength that AI cannot replicate, involves empathy, self-awareness, again, relationship building, to reinforce it. Sometimes you need someone else to, you have to quote from someone else, some authority. You won't believe me. You believe someone else better than or bigger than me, known better than me. So by 2030, the demand for EI skills will go up by 26%. EI boost of productivity, emotional intelligence, boost productivity, mental health, and reduce burnout. So here, human excellence comes with courage, empathy, presence, and purpose. Now let's see the creative skills or what you can learn. Lifelong learning. This is what I said earlier also. Lifelong learning focused on creative problem solving is essential. Creativeness include all that which is shown here: motivation, knowledge, inspiration, vision, idea, brainstorm, imagination, mind. So it needs lifelong learning for creative skills to be effective. Creativity is combining intuition, imagination, and interdisciplinary thinking. That is possible only if you accumulated those ideas or imagination, those knowledge from your lifelong learning. Creativity training enhances adaptability, enabling one to transition into new jobs. By embedding creativity, one can stay ahead of AI, driving innovation. So these are the things. McKinsey, again, as I told you, McKinsey said 30% of the job will get automated by 2030. 30% of jobs. And McKinsey says in terms, not taking about IT jobs or the productivity jobs of engineering, they're talking more about managerial jobs and accounting jobs. So instead of asking what I need to learn next, you're talking about lifelong learning. The more potent question is, who do I need to become to stay relevant? Who do I need to become to stay relevant? So that is critical. So next part is ethical leadership training. Ethical leadership program prioritizes integrity and social impact. It involves navigating moral dilemmas with empathy and awareness. And it talks about fosters trust and ensure accountability. Again, 2023 Deloitte study shows 87% value ethical leadership. That means people are willing to continue with the job. 87% of the people are willing to continue with the job where ethical leadership is prevalent. So if you want to retain good employees, recruit good employees, find and recruit good employees, or retain them, you need to practice ethical leadership. So interpersonal communication skills is another training. So it involves so many things like voice, active listening. I talked about emotional intelligence, critical thinking. So what you can learn? Humans excel in active listening, non-verbal communication, non-cultural dialogue. It's non-cultural dialogue is particularly important when you are abroad in a world where there are different type of people together. So communication counters AI limitation in interpreting tone or body language. These skills build stronger relationship, boosting productivity and growth. So interpersonal skills is the next one, which you can learn. So fourth one is adaptability. We talked about adaptability, but how you can learn. Adaptability enables rapid adjustment or change. We talked about it. Adaptive mindset to navigate AI-driven change. So it's a scenario-based training to prepare people for unpredictable situation, a human strength AI struggles to match. Simulation of crisis, adaptability first. I'll give you before 2024 LinkedIn study found that 70% of employers prioritize adaptability by equipping employees to handle ambiguity. That means LinkedIn study, I think they hold sometime above 70% of the recruitments global in some part of the world. So it stays with their knowledge that 70% of the employees prioritize adaptability. So it is a skill that you have to learn. So how do we learn? See, it says conduct adaptability training, to go for adaptability training, strong social connections and work autonomy, allow employees to work autonomy, then strong social connection, let them go for social connection, engage in transformational leadership behaviors, tell them what is transformational leadership, put them into that, because many things you cannot learn by listening. You have to get involved. You have to practice. It's something like, you can't read a book on driving or bicycle, cycling, and then do the cycling. No, you have to get into bicycle to learn cycling. So similarly, some of these transformational leadership behavior promote team learning. You have to put them into team workshop, team leading workshop, and then get into where they can put them into a team, see how they work, give a feedback, establish vision. So these are the way adaptable. Then there are few things in inspirational leadership, accountability concept. These are other trainings which you can, if you have time, if you have money, probably and you have more number of years to work and scale, you are ambitious. Many of the leadership positions are empty because people are not ambitious enough. They think, okay, it's not their cup of tea. They think, okay, what they are doing is good enough. So be ambitious, go for all this skill training, get yourself into that position and be prepared. That's the whole purpose of my talk today. And how I can't leave without telling you how artificial intelligence elevates human potential. So few slides on that. So we talked always about human skills all through, but AI is also equally important. AI helps in AI's role elevating human creativity. We talked about how 83% believe AI enhances human creativity and economic value. 83% people believe AI is needed in workplace so that it enhances their creativity. AI is not creative threat. We need to embrace it as a powerful partner. By automating mundane, that means routine tasks, AI allows human imagination to soar and flourish. AI can spark creativity by analyzing data and pattern. So this is again AI and human creativity. Now we say it's human-centric. We talked about creative, now human-centric leader. AI changing how, automating routine function. You get more time to do other things. Leaders can dedicate themselves to strategic thinking and vision setting. So they themselves, they grow up to do the next thing. This is human-centric leadership. AI drives continuous learning mindset. Again, another important rapid technological advancement. Those who embrace AI as both tool and subject of learning will succeed. It's important. It's a change which AI will give you, drives you for continuous learning and mindset for change. AI fluency is key for, again, unlocking new opportunities. So trustworthy, again, one of the part of the building a trustworthy and accountable society. It's again high ideals for how AI trust is a bedrock of healthy society. Technology could help rebuild that trust. So you see this the word. How do we do? When AI system becomes more autonomous, trust will be a crucial factor in realizing potential benefit. So the era of transparency and accountability, AI can come to a rescue. AI cannot be black box, meaning black box means humans doesn't know what is happening inside AI. So we need explainable machine learning engineers to tell them what is inside, what is the logic they build, what is the algorithm they have, what are the conditions they put. how do we trust? So this is brings out. So intelligent empowers intelligent collaboration also. We talked about collaboration earlier. So empathy is one of the factors which allows us to build the trust. We talked about health, trust, fostering teamwork, and cultivate human-centric leadership. You see, again, what is empathy component? Others' feeling, your understanding, communicating your understanding, non-judgmental, see the world as others see. So how digital transformation AI helps is, you don't need to say much about it. AI structured approach to, it's helps in AI embracing responsible compliance, digital core AI skills at 5%, see this distance, how digital transformation can happen with AI. It intelligent automation process, data analysis, automation and operational efficiency, customer experience, proactive problem solving. So now from the last one, human transformation. This is the most critical stuff. All you and me will be happy to learn this and be ready for this. And this is also my, probably the last two slides, okay? The future doesn't require us to know everything. It requires us to be ready for anything. From knowing to becoming, human transformation. That's the whole purpose of my talk. I put this into few sentences. The future doesn't require us to know everything. It requires us to be ready for everything, anything. That means ready for AI, ready for the technology, ready for the new world order. Change is the only constant. Auditors must shift from chasing skill acquisition to cultivating continuous learning. Change is the constant. You heard it a number of times. But auditors must know, like when I learned all this, took all my qualification, about 7 or 8 qualification, I was taught skill acquisition or that knowledge acquisition matters. But continuous, what I understood later is continuous, help me for continuously learning and getting more different perspective to be what I am today. A perfect auditor is not someone who has mastered every tool or memorized every standard, but someone who has built the agility, resilience, and confidence. A perfect auditor is not someone who mastered every tool or memorized every standard. Good old days it was, but someone who has built the agility to do things faster, right time, resilience, and confidence. So these invest in power skills, design AI, human synergy, model ethical leadership, stewardship, invite others to rise. That means not only you become better, help others, whether your office, your colleagues, or whether your society, everyone else, a fellow chartered accountants, or anyone else, others also to rise with you. So I'll give you with this. Institute of Chartered Accountants has published all these books. You are all ready to, you can read all that. It's available in the, if you're a member, it's available. Go and download and read it. Download and read it. And these are 3 other books which I have. Thank you very much. And these are my thoughts which I shared nearly 2 hours, and leave to Charni to see a Charni to, if there are any question I can answer.
Sir, we do not have any questions as of now because I think you have taken the session very nicely. So the participants are very clear with each and every concept that you have explained.
Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, it's, normally when there is no question means either they understood everything or did not understand anything. So I go by positive thing, they understood many things. So also somebody else.
we have one question. So
Okay.
is there a direct opportunity for chartered accountants in the changing AI environment? I mean, the opportunity of offering some service different from the hardcore professional services.
Yes. In fact, see, chartered accountants, I mentioned about also one chartered, there are many others who migrated to, human skills. And they brought that knowledge of, pure accounting knowledge, which we all have that accounting, then we have the knowledge of the laws and regulatory things. that knowledge can be used to build the humans with human skill. They can work on human skill aspect for the accountants. Like there are people, I can't name anything for want of, because it will amount to sort of focusing on that. But there are people who I know they are doing the coaching, they are doing the counseling for chartered accountants to grow fast, to build a practice, become, in fact, in fact, one of the person who I recruited, I asked him to wait for a Middle East job. I asked him what made you. He was in a very good position. I asked him, what is that made you look for this? He said, no, my job, as a chartered accountant, as an internal auditor, he can't get a salary beyond 50 lakhs a year. Again, what he said, I'm saying. So he said, if I learn and come abroad, I can make 50 lakhs into 1 crore. So I asked him, what is that you need to do for that? So he said, no, I have to be CEO. So I told him, why don't you be a CEO? So learn those skills which will make you move from CAE, the Chief Audit Executive, to CEO. So learn those skills. Believe me, today is CEO of a good company. So there are ways to do it. You need to have that sort of mental readiness and willing to probably take risks.
The next question is accounting CPD has a pathway course of 20 hours on AI. So does ICAI has one?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat?
Accounting CPD has a pathway course on AI for 20 hours.
Okay.
So he is asking that does ICAI have any such courses?
I think one of the courses is about IT skills, correct? To get yourself a CA certificate, you have to go through that IT course and also one on management course, like that. I'm not fully aware. You are any idea?
Yes, we have AI course that is happening in each of the maybe WRC, CIRC, NIRC, SIRC, and also on India basis, the Central Committee of AI also have many courses framed on AI.
Yeah, I've seen some advertisements. Yes, there's going to be one major AI conference happening soon in Ahmedabad or Gujarat somewhere. Correct?
You can check out on the website of AI Committee of ICA.
Okay.
So that's all on the question front from the participants. So here we close the session. So thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session and deliberation on the topic. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on power skills in the age of AI, leveraging human intelligence, which was organized by Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICAI. So on behalf of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICAI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, CA Sundareshwar Rajeshwar sir, for his enlightening session, and a wild round of applause and thanks to the organizer of Professional Skill Enrichment Committee, ICAI, for our today's speaker and all our stakeholders for making this webcast a memorable one. So finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and helping us to make this webcast a grand success. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity, and I hope you people, I'm okay to share my presentation to those who need. Okay, and I at least if those who were present, for whatever time you're present, if you've made one or two takeaway and you put it in practice, my 2 hours, or I spend another maybe 50 hours or 40 hours in compiling all these, will be useful. I'll feel having contributed something for the profession. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can close.